What's up, y'all? Sparta here. So for this video, I'm going to do a video recording comparison between the iPhone 11, here we go, the iPhone 12 Pro. The 11's on my mind because I didn't have an 11 Pro Max. I had an 11 Pro Max not too long ago. But yeah, iPhone 12 Pro versus Samsung Galaxy S20 FE. Now, some of you guys may say, oh, but the 12 Pro is more expensive. Here's the here's the thing, though, right? The 12 Pro is more expensive, but if you look at, from, comparison spec to spec and stuff like that, what the S20 FE offers does indeed give you more of a comparison between something like the 12 Pro Max, because they have similar main 12 megapixel sensors, where they both have that larger 12 megapixel sensor, which will be better for low light and better for autofocusing and stuff like that, whereas the 12 Pro just has the same basic 12 megapixel sensor you'll see on like an 11 Pro and 11 Pro Max and stuff like that. So in terms of when you go from like 11 Pro to 12 Pro, in terms of camera, the only real thing you're getting that's better is, say, you get Dolby Vision. That's pretty much it when you record in 4K 30 or 4K 60 when you go to 12 Pro. But in terms of what the S20 FE offers, you get 4K 60, HDR10 plus support. You get 8 gigabytes of RAM with the 256 gig model, though this is the 128 gig model with 6 gigs of RAM. The 256 gig model just came out. So, and I'm not really going to switch between, I'm not going to trade mine in just so I can get more storage. I have an SD card in here, 512 gigs, so that's fine for me. But overall, I'm recording in auto mode on both of these. Both are going to be using the stock camera app that comes on the phone. So when I zoom out, I can't do anything. You can't go to your wide angle. You have to record in your wide angle separately. But you could zoom in to 10x zoom, and it looks like trash, but what else do you really expect? It's there and it's convenient. So that really matters. You tap, you can lower the exposure, you could brighten the exposure, stuff like that. Very simple, very easy. You could take a photo. You could do that on the iPhone 12 Pro as well, but the difference is that it doesn't really, the S20 FE here, it'll blacken the screen real quick to indicate that you have taken a photo. You can switch to the front-facing camera, whereas, and apologies for being a little shaky, it's cold out here, so keep that in mind. But yeah, it's very nice in terms of what this offers. It's very quality. The mics, you'll definitely be able to tell the difference. What I've been able to notice between using, say, an 11 Pro Max and now with the 12 Pro, the iPhone mics tend to pick up everything. Like everything. And that's both a good and a bad thing. It's good for, say, when you're podcasting and you want to be able to hear both people talking or something like that, right? But it's bad for when, say, you're out here in like an outdoor situation trying to record, and you could hear the wind be super aggressive, you could hear cars over you and stuff like that. So let me switch over to the 12 Pro here just so I can show you guys what I mean. Okay, so here's the iPhone 12 Pro here, and what I can definitely see, both of them record in HDR, but let me actually play it back live here on the S20 FEs just so I can have a better indication of what they look like. I will say, by looking at it, and what you guys can probably see right here, there's definitely more rich tones on the FE here. It looks definitely more HDR. Both of them are recording in HDR. They both don't have like a toggle on HDR. It's a dynamic auto HDR, which I don't like. Whereas, say, on the V60, you could turn it on or off. I prefer that because it just works better. It's either you turn it on auto or you don't have it at all, and that's actually not what I like. So yeah, but on here, the difference between the two is that you can only zoom into 6x, whereas on, like I said, on the FE you could zoom into 10x. Honestly, this looks better, so I don't really mind it all that much. But you could in 1080p 60, what you can do is you can zoom out to wide angle. You can't do that on S20 FE. I thought you weren't able to. Oh, because I was in 4K 60. That's why I wasn't able to do it. But yeah, it's really nice. Looks really clean. I don't really mind the picture or anything on any of these. Like I said, on the S20 FE and on the LG V60, you could switch on the fly to the front-facing camera if you want to, just so you don't have to splice in a separate video. So that's nice. You don't get that opportunity in manual mode. It's just sole rear-facing camera, which is fine. It's what it's used for. So yeah, I'm gonna really do more of a stabilization test here. This isn't really a great day to show off HDR. It's cold, it's dark, it's drab out here, so it's not that great, but I feel it's fine, honestly. So let me switch over to the S20 FE here just to show you guys what it looks like in terms of stabilization. Okay, so what I will definitely say is that the S20 FE is definitely better with stabilization. I don't have any sort of like the max stabilization, the super stabilized video on or anything like that. I just have the base stabilization on. And obviously when I do something like this, it'll obviously not be stable. But overall, I feel both of these do a really good job at stabilizing the video. Again, with like say the V60, you are able to do 8K recording at 26 frames per second with stabilization on, and it looks really nice. On here, on both of these, you could just do 4K 60. Both have HDR, but as I said, you can't toggle it on or off. In the auto settings, you can't toggle bitrate, and even in the pro mode on the S20 FE here, you can't change the bitrate either. But that's a really nice visual right there. That looks really clean. Go back to autofocusing here. Yeah, both of these look really nice. And whereas on the iPhone, you can't record in 21:9 mode, so you can't get a wide angle. Oh, I'm at widescreen rather video. So though with these taller aspect ratio phones, you won't have to zoom in on a YouTube video, which is typically what I record in on, say, like my G8, so that you guys don't have to, zoom in on the video so it fits the screen of your phone. That kind of sucks on the iPhone. I wish it did have that, but it's whatever. But in terms of like the raw video, I think both do a really good job. Like iPhone, if you value being able to just switch it on you could do it on the S20 FE, you could do it on the V60, but you can't do it on the iPhone, which sucks. If you want manual video controls, you have to do that in a different app on the iPhone. You have to download a different app, which I am definitely looking into because I want to see what these can do and how these can improve the video on your iPhone. So yeah, I do have Filmic on Android. I don't have it on iOS, but I'm looking at like manual photo and manual video apps on iOS, and they look pretty promising. I just got to pay for the full versions so I can get all the full features, which is kind of stupid. Like if I'm gonna download like at least give me a good amount of the features. Like there's this one app that you can download, and you can't even change like the resolution from 1080p 24 frames per second. That's stupid, but it's whatever. Let me switch over to the iPhone just so I can show you guys what that looks like. Okay, so I recorded a whole segment that was in 4K 60. Now I gotta do the whole thing over again because I want to make sure this is just 1080p 60. Not that the S20 FE can't do 4K 60, but I just wanted to make sure. So as I was saying, when I'm taking a picture here, it doesn't give any sort of indicator that that I took the picture, whereas on the S20 FE and on like the V60, the screen will flash so that it shows you that you have taken a picture. It's not like a super long flash, it's like a quick one. So that's really nice. There isn't no sort of way to go back to autofocus when you manually tap to focus. That kind of sucks. In 4K 60 mode, you're only able to zoom into 3x zoom, whereas say right here, I'm able to zoom into 6x, and I'll probably just go ahead, and it definitely looks really nice. It looks good enough. It doesn't look fantastic, but it's just something. And here we go again. I pressed it. I thought I didn't press it. It can at least vibrate, so I know, right? Like if you don't want to flash the screen, Apple, at least make the phone vibrate. That would be nice. But yeah, that's really nice. But what I'm going to do here is I'm going to splice some V60 footage here just so I can show you guys what that does. And yeah, let's go here. Okay, so here's LG V60. And like I told you guys, you can switch the camera right here. It's a little overexposed, but it looks nice. I don't really use the front-facing camera like that, but it looks good to me personally. On here, you can indeed zoom in 10x. Let me find that ball again. You can indeed zoom in 10x or just go to 6 like you can on the iPhone. If I could get to just 6. Obviously, it's not gonna, I think my camera lens has a little bit of crap on it. So bear with me with that. You can go into wide angle where you can't do that on the S20 FE, which kind of sucks. But let me actually wipe this lens off real quick. Okay, I wiped the lens off. I will say the V60 does feel more stable, right? As big as this phone is, and a little as unwieldy as it can sometimes feel, it does feel more stable. And this is wide angle. I'm going over to 1x. As you guys can clearly see, it does trying to get it to focus here. There we go. There we go. That looks really nice. But yeah, when you're in HDR10, you can't take a picture. When you turn HDR10 off, you can. But overall, I feel this does a really good job still. The colors are really, really nice, really clean. I guess I'll just go over to non-HDR just to show you guys what that looks like, if there's any discernible difference. So let me do that real quick. Yeah, so like I said, in HDR10 plus, you can't take a picture. But the colors honestly look as good. I don't necessarily think it looks that much better, but I don't know what's going on. Oh, there we go. That looks really clean. Go back to autofocus here. Wide angle, 10x, regular. It's nice and smooth, no problems there. When I do go to the front-facing camera, like I said, it does tend to overexpose, but you could just tap on your face, lower the exposure bar down, and you get good exposure there. It's not hard. People that say that's hard, learn how to use it, I guess. But yeah, it's really good. I don't necessarily think this is bad at all. But the big problem with the V60 is how big it is. Like that's basically what it is. This phone is a big one, right? Even the biggest iPhone 12 Pro Max, the biggest iPhone we ever made, isn't going to be as big as this phone. And you know, there are these like Mac rumors and 9to5 Mac that are sitting here saying the iPhone 12 Pro Max takes great pictures, but it might be too unwieldy for Apple users. Yeah, well, tell Apple to stop making big phones when they don't even tune their user interface so that it can take advantage of that big phone. They don't even, like, when you rotate the phone to go into landscape mode, it doesn't go into landscape mode on the home screen anymore. It just stays in portrait. you know, and that kind of sucks because I like that about the iPhone 8 Plus, where I was able to do that and it was good. But overall, I feel that all of these phones do a really good job. There really isn't a phone to me that beats out the other one. In terms of video rendering in like 4K, you gotta go V60. You gotta. It beats both these phones by a minute, like literally a minute. So V60 is the best for 4K 60 video rendering in both KineMaster and Power Director. So, and I already have those videos on the channel, so you can look at that. But in terms of what these can do, I do feel that, you know, in terms of what I want personally, I do feel the V60 is definitely the one for me, but I'm not going to act like the S20 FE is trash or the iPhone is trash. I feel they all do a perfectly good job for what they aim to accomplish. The V60 does it well for, say, you want more manual controls, you want more control of what you want your video or your photo to look like, it's better for that. You want the more all-rounder where it gives you both, but it doesn't really excel at all of it. It is the Samsung phone. When it comes to full auto and Apple does it all for you and all this stuff, it's definitely going to be the iPhone. But the only one that really competes with LG in terms of giving you all these controls and giving you this stuff that makes you want to do more with your phone, it's like Sony. It really is Sony. It's like, and I really want a Sony phone right now, but money, right? But that's all I really wanted to do with this. I do feel these phones do meter pretty well too. They all do a pretty good job at, oh, you're looking at the sky, we're going to meter a little bit better. You're looking at a neutral scene, we're going to meter. You look down, we're going to meter well too. So all these do a really good job at that. In terms of stabilization, I feel the V60 is the one. Like, it's probably V60, Samsung, then iPhone in terms of mics. I think it's a tie between the LG and the Samsung, and the iPhone is third. But overall, I feel all these phones do a really good job, and that's all I really wanted to say. This is Sparta. Thank you guys for watching. Thanks for support. Hope you guys have a wonderful Tuesday, whatever time of day it is in your area. Have a good one.